Alright, so what we're doing with this cylinder head, this is a 2.8 Ranger, and we're going to be lapping these valves. So we're going to do it the Redneck way. This is a lapping compound you can get local parts stores. Basically all it is just liquefied steel shavings. I just usually dab a little bit on the end here, a little bit around the edge, and then what I do is I'm going to use a little screw gun. It's got a bit on the end here, just a Phillips, and then this will go into the valve. First, need a little drop of oil. There's baby. What you doing, Poppers? So as you do this, you're going to be moving this in and out just a little bit. And I'll show you how I'm working that over here. That tripod back in swing. Oops, sorry. If you pull too hard, it'll just come disconnected from the little hose. Then it pops loose. Bite the hose just a little bit. Then you're going to wipe that off and you're going to look at that. See, just barely right in the middle there is where that lapping compound went. So that should seal up that valve really good. We'll do the same thing with the exhaust. If I wipe that off, then I can show you how that exhaust, so we can get the camera centered. But you can see some of the pitting right there. So use fuel line, 1/4 inch or 5/16 for these size of valves. I think 1/4 would probably work best. Just bounce it a little bit, keep it from getting too hot. Make sure you can see. Drill up and down with that hose in there. You know, it gives you a lot of slop in there so you can do this. Gotta make sure the seat's clean. And I'll go back through it and I'll put a little bit of my secret spray on there. Which all that spray is just a thinner, paint thinner. See, you can see how it's starting to clean that edge up a little bit. Actually needs, probably would be better off having a valve job, but the customer has no money whatsoever, so we're just doing these, just lapping them in just to get them cleaned up. Alright, so I've got about an 84 or 85 Ranger, Ford Ranger. And picked it up as a junker and ended up needing the heads redone. I started this project about a year ago. I wasn't doing a whole lot of YouTube filming, but we're going to get you back into it and kind of show you some of the things that I've found. One of the things that I'm going to show you, I don't think I've got the original here, but this is one of the things that I'm going to do. This is definitely a strange deal. This came out of a Bobcat 2.8 Bobcat, remanufactured, and the guy sold it to me. He said, well, the diaphragm is no good, and it was a brand new distributor, brand new reman. For some reason the company did not do the reman correctly. Anyway, well, so what we found was, or what he found was that he was able to replace the diaphragm pretty easy. However, it didn't come with this whole unit. That's an advanced side, and that's the retard side on the old Ford emissions, and he wasn't able to get that as a replacement unit. So he told me he took a replacement and vacuum advance unit, and he cut this open, did all this work right here with this little bolt and nut assembly, and then put that replacement diaphragm in there, and apparently it worked. So he gave me a good deal on it. So, but this came out of a Bobcat or a Pinto or something like that, or not Pinto, but I think it was a Bobcat. Anyway, so we've got our gaskets and everything, and then let's see, that's not what I wanted to show you. This is the other thing I wanted to show you. This is same kind of a thing, conversion wise. See, we had like an EC3 system on this. It has a computer, and it's got a feedback carburetor, and the carburetors are just absolutely garbage. So what I did was I sent away, this is a, let me see here, let's get it out here. I don't want to rip it open just yet, but you can see it's just a Motorcraft 2100 2-barrel. But one of the things, it was in the box. This is an NOS remanufactured carburetor that's been on the shelf for about 25 years. It's been sealed up, and I was lucky to be able to get a smoking deal on it. The guy was just trying to liquidate. As a matter of fact, I think he was actually throwing a lot of this stuff in the scrap pile because he couldn't sell it. But I gave him a good deal. Well, he gave me a good deal, and I bought that from him. The original carburetor's got a throttle position sensor on the side, and there's a couple other differences, and there's also a compensator port and some other things for altitude. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run this just as a basic 2-barrel carburetor. And the ignition, however, this is the replacement, which is going to have the Dura Spark or whatever they called that thing. This is the original that came out of there. It's got a black stator TFI, which black stators, as you well know, usually fall apart. It looks like somebody's put an aftermarket module on it. So I'm going to get rid of the TFI module and just go with a Dura Spark. But I think what I might do, alright, so there's 2 signal wires here, and one is I believe a ground. Black, I think, is a ground. What I believe I might be able to do is, let me set this up here. It's holding the camera and holding parts at the same time. So these two upper plugs right here, they're a signal. I'd have to look and see exactly how it goes, but I think what I might do is take a GM module off like a 70s General Motors, and just an ignition module from the distributor, and I'll make a heat sink for it and plug. It has battery positive for sure, and then it's got I don't think it's a ground. I think I can hook the ground to this, and then the 2 other wires I believe will go. Make sure that I can show it to you because my hand's relaxing. But anyway, these 2 signal wires here plug into a little GM module, little GM regular module, and I think I can get spark out of this thing pretty easy because I can just hook the battery positive, and then the other generator wire goes to this coil here, which I think that's going to work out pretty good, and that'll get me the spark that I need without having to go through and put a blue grommet module on it. And anyway, I wanted to show you also, I'm using this, what is this thing here? I think it's Chicago Pneumatic. You can probably see it better than I can. And it's just a little polisher, but it's got 320 grit cleanable sandpaper. And I usually use the Rolock discs, but I've been finding that this tends to work just as well. I'll show you. Pretty good surface to it. I got a ways to go, but anyway, some guys, they swear by the Rolock discs, and I typically do too, but I think this low speed polisher with that sandpaper throws a lot less metal shavings around, because you do get it. You do get, you know, you can tell that there's quite a bit of stuff that gets everywhere. You know, you can kind of see the outline of the metal shavings that come off. And I think if you use that a lot less, I think that it's more beneficial than using that high-speed Rolock disc, which I like, and they're quick and easy, and they're smaller too. You can fit into little places. This is a 3-inch, where my Rolock discs are 2-inch. So, but like I say, I can use different grits of sandpaper on that unit as well. I can go down to 80 if I want. I can go as high as 800. I think it works pretty good. So I just thought I'd give you a quick update on this little Ranger that I'm doing, and hopefully I'll get this put back together, and we'll see how it runs with the new conversion on it rather than the old carburetor and whatnot. Anyway, another thumbs up for now. So if you can see that, see how it's getting cleaner. Just a little lapping on that is probably going to help seal those valves quite a bit. Anyway, I'll continue with this portion of this Ranger repair. I'm going to go ahead and post this video, and then I'll have another one with the cylinder heads and hopefully it running. So, another thumbs up for you.